Police to Nigeria obstructing officers on duty attracts 2 years imprisonment. Who gave it to you? Who made the law? You are a law enforcement agent. Where is it in Nigerian law? And who made it? So obstructing officer on duty is 2 years imprisonment. But officers on duty illegally without any warrant of duty is what? Officers on duty extorting people's phones and extorting people's money, asking for money from taxi drivers and innocent private road users. What do you call that? If police collecting 100 naira or 500 naira on the road, it depends on how the case is, or collecting money in the place of, some traffic violations. What do you call that? All these people, Nigeria, anybody can just come out and speak. Quite unfortunate. The police has issued a stern warning to citizens about the consequences of resisting or obstructing officers in the discharge of their duties. So what? So in a statement signed by Muyiwa Adejobi, the first public relations officer, the police urged citizens to acquaint themselves with the relevant laws. So according to the statement, under Section 197 of the Criminal Code Act, any individual who obstructs or resists a public officer during the execution of their lawful duties is guilty of a misdemeanor and faces a potential prison sentence of up to 2 years. Can you imagine? So misdemeanor is 2 years imprisonment. Stealing and all these what do they call it? All these illegal extortion on the road is what? Is that not robbery? Or all these political thieves cutting away our national wealth? How many years imprisonment is that? Now, wow. Similarly, the Police Act 2020 prescribes penalties for related offenses. Section 42 mandates citizens to assist judges, magistrates, and police officers in the lawful arrest or prevention of a suspect escape when reasonably called upon to do so. Failure to comply constitutes an offense under the law. Can you imagine? So you call somebody to come and help you to arrest somebody, Abi, or to support the arrest of somebody, and the person is not able to do that. You say it's an offense. So now for this police, Section 98 of the Police Act further specifies that assaulting, obstructing, or resisting a police officer during the discharge of their duties or inciting others to do so is punishable by a fine of 500,000 naira, imprisonment for 6 months, or both. Can you imagine? Also, under Section 99 of the Act, individuals who refuse to assist police officers when required, particularly in cases where officers are under threat or facing resistance, may be fined 100,000 naira, sentenced to 3 months in prison, or both. Can you imagine all these obnoxious laws in Nigeria? But meanwhile, people are stealing Nigerian funds left, right, and center. It's not an offense. Nigeria is becoming a very captive state. I don't understand. So the statement reads, know the law and be guided. Section 197 of the Criminal Code Act in Nigeria, resisting public officers. Any person who in any manner obstructs or resists any public officer while engaged in the discharge of or attempted discharge of the duties of his office under any other act, law, or statute, or obstructs or resists any person while engaged in the discharge or attempted discharge of any duty imposed on him by an order, act, law, or statute is guilty of a misdemeanor and is liable to imprisonment for 2 years. Can you imagine? Can you see how they set up laws to frustrate Nigerians? Meanwhile, the political leaders and all the key people custodying Nigerian resources are cutting them away, and there's no penalty for that. And that is why they went and sentenced somebody who stole fowl in Osun State. And that is supposed to be a civil offense. Now they have, or I don't know how they can make that a criminal offense that is to be charged for imprisonment or sentencing for even life imprisonment or something like that. Meanwhile, all these people are putting Nigeria in one chance, and nobody can arrest them. They just make laws the way they like. I'm telling you. And nobody, the people that even review these laws, a lot of Nigerians are not aware of some of these laws because they don't engage public very well for, when they are drafting these laws for public input. They do these laws just to safeguard themselves and to put the citizens in harm's way. This is terribly very bad. Terribly very bad. So if I go now to the comment sections, I know that people are already reacting to today. And somebody said the Nigerian police should be retrained and taught how to handle the citizens while discharging their official duties. What is the penalty for any police officer that brutalizes, kills, and harass civilians? Exactly. You open live bullet on a citizen that is supposed to protect. So what should be the penalty? You call it accidental release, Abi, and then you brutalize people unnecessarily for not committing criminal offense, probably a civil issue. You start brutalizing. So what do you call that? Now for these people, I'm telling you. And obviously, you have said it all. There is no Nigerian that will deliberately obstruct police on duty who are genuinely and legally on duty doing their work without infringing on the right of the citizen. Exactly. So if a policeman is doing his work legally and there's no issue, nobody will resist them. But most of the time, you see police being resisted because they are observed to be on illegal duty. That is it. The Nigerian police should be retrained though. They should be retrained. I'm telling you. Somebody say obstructing officers on duty. An opportunity for Nigerian police to be intimidating innocent citizens for the criminal and self-interest. Before the IGP sending this message to the general public, he should ask himself of a real survey of how many good officers are really doing their job. No right-thinking citizen will obstruct an officer, knowing fully well that such officers are doing their normal job. Checking phones and pockets of Nigerians, is that what you send them to do? Trying to explain, to respond when they are talking before they start flooring their fellow Nigerians like a goat, or using their guns to intimidate innocent people, even shooting at someone who refused to give them money and still lie on such person because he or she is a uniform personnel. Oga, please educate your men the reason they are outing on uniform people. And that is it. That is it. What is the penalty for any police officer that brutalize, kill, and harass civilians? Very soon, police will start to arrest and imprison pregnant women. I would not be surprised too. I would not be surprised too. So that is what Adejobi is saying. But we know that Nigerian police is never a straightforward police force. I'm telling you. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment over this kind of law that the police PRO is now saying, that when you resist a police officer or when you refuse to help a police officer when he's facing threat, you are liable for 2 years imprisonment. Now wow.